in this context, that our actions might reflect your light of goodness and bring blessings to our community. Amen.
Members, our house chaplain today is our very own Grady St. Dennis, the house chaplain. Please remain standing as Will and Eli lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The clerk will take the roll. The clerk will close the roll. A quorum is present. I call on the member from Rice, Representative Fritz. For what purpose do you rise?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, I'd like to make a point of personal privilege.
State your point of personal privilege, Representative Fritz.
Well, Mr. Speaker and members, today is my husband Jim and my 48th wedding anniversary. Thank you.
Of so-called tort reform bills, which really is a concerted and collective effort across the country.
Can you hear me? Okay, I'm sorry about that. I'll use this microphone. Today is our 48th wedding anniversary, and actually at this time in St. Dominic's Church in Northfield, Minnesota, I was walking down the aisle to meet my best friend, Jim. And 48 years later, here we are. We'd like to invite you to celebrate with us and join us in the retiring room for some cake and celebration. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Representative Fritz. And many happy more, another 48. Reports of standing committees and divisions.
No, we didn't read the journal. Oh, I'm sorry, we didn't.
My apologies, members. We will revert to the reading of the journal for the day.
Journal of the House, 87th session, 2012, 69th day, St. Paul, Minnesota, Thursday, February 2nd, 2012.
If there are no objections, further reading of the journal will be dispensed with, and the journal will stand. by the Chief Clerk. Hearing no objections, the journal is approved as corrected by the Chief Clerk. Reports of standing committees and divisions. Copy of this order of business has been placed on each member's desk. If there are no objections, the reports will be adopted. Hearing no objections, the reports are adopted. Second reading of House files.
Second reading House File 657.
Second reading.
Second reading House File 1245.
Second reading.
Second reading House File 1468.
Second reading.
Second reading House File 1560.
Second reading. Second reading of Senate files.
Second reading Senate File 1213.
Second reading.
Second reading Senate File 1268.
Second reading. Introduction of House files. The following House files have been offered for introduction today. The Chief Clerk will report these House files and give them their first reading.
Introduction and first reading of House Files 2085 through 2156.
First reading House File 2085 through 2156. Messages from the Senate.
Message from the Senate. Mr. Speaker, I have the honor to inform the House that the Senate is ready to meet with the House in joint convention at 6:45 p.m. Wednesday, February 15, 2012, to receive the message of the Honorable Mark Dayton, Governor of the State of Minnesota, to be delivered at 7 p.m. Signed, Kel R. Ludeman, Secretary of the Senate. Mr. Speaker, I have the honor to announce that the Senate has appointed a committee of 5 members of the Senate to act with the committee on the part of the House to escort the Governor to the House chamber on the day of the joint convention. Senator Dietzig, Eaton, Hayden, Howell, Miller. Signed, Kel R. Ludeman, Secretary of the Senate.
Motions and resolutions. There are a copy of the non-controversial motions at the House desk and online. If there are no objections, we will take action on these motions first. Hearing no objections, the motions prevail.
Peterson B. moves that House File 2044 be recalled from the Committee on Environment, Energy, Natural Resources, Policy, and Finance and re-referred to the Committee on Civil Law. Peterson B. Is that the only one?
I don't see him.
He's back.
Who is he?
That's the only one.
That's it.
Calling the member from Anoka, Representative Peterson B., to your motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that House File number 2044 be recalled from the Committee on Environment, Energy, and Natural Resources, Policy, and Finance and be re-referred to the Committee on Civil Law. I've spoken with the committee chairs and they're in approval.
Discussion of the Peterson B. motion. Seeing no further discussion, the motion is adopted.
Dean, introducing House Concurrent Resolution 5, a House Concurrent Resolution adopting deadlines for the 2012 regular session. The resolution is being referred to the Committee on Rules and Legislative Administration. That's it.
Announcements. Announcements. The member from Anoka, Representative Abler.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Health and Human Services Finance Committee will be meeting at 1 o'clock. We're delaying it because of today, so please be on time. We have some work to do. Thank you.
Announcements. The member from Hennepin, Representative Hornstein.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. As you eat your way through the day, first with Representative Fritz's cake, we have a special guest, a member of the Israeli Parliament, is going to be visiting the Capitol. We have a little reception with him at 3 o'clock in room 123. You can have some hummus and some pita and some baklava and enjoying some really good conversation. So I hope you'll join us, 3 o'clock, 123.
Announcements. The member from Dakota, Representative Mack.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just wanted to take a minute to invite members down to the rotunda today from 1 to 2:30. It is Minnesota Zoo Day at the Capitol. There are some furry friendly creatures down there that they've taken from the Zoomobile. So I encourage members to stop on by and see them and partake in Minnesota Zoo Day. Thanks.
Announcements. Further announcements. Member from Washington, Representative Dean.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. Members, there will be a very brief Rules Committee meeting directly after session today. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I move that when the House adjourns today, it adjourns until 3 p.m. Thursday, February 9th, 2012.
Representative Dean moves that the House adjourns today, adjourns until 3 p.m. Thursday, February the 9th, 2012. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. The motion prevails. Representative Dean.
I move the House do now adjourn.
Representative Dean moves that the House do now adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. The motion prevails. The House stands adjourned until 3 p.m. Thursday, February 9th, 2012.